Now, a bit of a Lonzo Ball update, and it's pretty concerning, I must say, because we're getting our hopes up really high with Lonzo, that we'd saw some progress this year, and we'd hoped to see him back on the court next year, but I think it might be a little while still to go. Now, because there is talk that Lonzo is still unable to sprint. So the report says that Lonzo remains unable to sprint as he continues to rehab a knee injury that has kept him off the floor for more than 2 calendar years. And Donovan says a few confusing comments. Now he says, I don't know if he's stuck. He's doing some shooting, some running, some jumping, but he hasn't done any sprinting. And that is pretty concerning. Donovan goes on to say they've talked about it. It was kind of a goal, a sort of a set point to get to in part of the rehab to go, hey, we're now sprinting, we have some progress, but he's not there. So it's not really a setback, it's just he hasn't developed to that level yet. Now he says because of him having surgery and being off his leg for so long, before he's really able to ramp it up, I think they want him to get to a place physically that relates to his quad strength. I don't want to say it's a hold up, but that's where they want him to get to. I want to say that's a hold up because he's not there yet, and they're giving us no timetable on when we would expect him to get that. They're not saying 1 month or 6 months, 12 months. So I think those comments are quite vague and pretty concerning. Let me know what you think. But as we know, Lonzo hasn't played since January 14, 2022. That's a long time. And after last night's Bulls lost to the Pistons in a disgraceful manner. Oh, I got to be honest, I couldn't even watch the game. I turned it off and just looked at the stats, and it got even worse. But as we know, Lonzo was originally expected to miss a couple of weeks with a torn meniscus, but instead he has battled his way through a long rehab process. Now, his most recent surgery was the cartilage transplant in his left knee in March 23 that the team hoped would allow him to resume his basketball career. The Bulls have expressed hope Ball will be ready to start next season, which we were all very hopeful for. We needed some shining light this season, and that was the thing. But these vague comments, these shots from Donovan to say that he's not quite there yet, are very, very concerning. Now, the hard part for Chicago is they owe him $21.4 million for next season, and that is the final year of his $80 million contract. And in 4 years, he's played 35 games. So, when he's on the floor, he can impact the game in a way that he can shoot threes. He's a solid defender. But the Bulls need him. They need him. I would never thought I'd say that. But we're in dire straits. We need Lonzo Ball fit, healthy, and running the floor, spacing the floor, defending. With a Caruso off the bench would be a formidable duo, I think. But at $80 million with $21 million left, what are we going to do with him? Do you re-sign him? Do you trade him? Do you run the gauntlet and be stuck for another 4 years, potentially with injuries? I don't know. Let me know what you think. What is going to happen with Lonzo next year if he doesn't play? It's certainly pointing that way. As much as we want him to be playing, it's certainly leading to the fact that he may not be playing for a good chunk of his final season in Chicago. And do we trade him? Do we not trade him? Do we re-sign him? Do we not re-sign him? Who knows? I certainly don't. Let me know what you think.